Okay, well, hi everybody. This is Dana Childress from the Virginia Early Intervention Professional Development Center, and this is my second video blog ever. The funny thing is I should have recorded this morning when I posted the blog, but I forgot. So I have to get the hang of this video blog thing. So anywho, our post for the day is called, "Wait, isn't that outcome too specific?" And I'm wondering if any of you have been sitting in an IFSP meeting and had this experience where another team member said, "Wait a minute, if we write that outcome or that goal so specific that it includes a routine or the child's favorite toys, does that mean that's all I have to do? That's the only thing we work on, or that's the only routine that we work in?" And the answer is no. And because this has come up lately with a couple of folks that I've talked to, I thought I would address this in the blog. So lately, I've been talking to my friend Barbara in West Virginia, and another friend here in Virginia, Stacy, and both of them had the same question they were hearing from their providers. And that's a pretty common worry from folks when they're trying to learn about writing specific outcomes. So here's my explanation. And for both of them, they said this really helped. Including a specific routine in the body of an outcome only provides you with the context in which that outcome will be measured. So let me give you an example. So here's my example. I'm looking on the screen. I wrote, "Elise will use 10 two-word phrases to request or label her favorite things to do, such as downslide, my ball, sandbox, while she's playing in the backyard with her cousin 3 afternoons a week for 2 weeks." So this outcome is really specific, right? It includes a routine, which is the backyard play. It includes a list of some two-word phrases that would go along with her favorite things, like going down the slide, playing with the ball, playing around in the sandbox. And it includes the time when she's with her cousin. So does this mean the service provider can only go in the afternoon when her cousin's there and that they can only play outside? Of course not. All this means is that when Elise is consistently using two-word phrases in the afternoon when she's playing with her cousin outside, we can assume, when they're just rolling off her tongue, we can assume that she's using two-word phrases pretty consistently throughout her day. So this routine just gives us a way to measure her success and her progress. So that's really important, and that gives you permission to be very specific. So let's think about this in a different way. So I want you to compare that outcome with one that we see a lot on IFSPs. Elise will use two-word phrases to get her wants and needs met during daily routines. Well, here's what I think about that outcome. Blech. Because it's not measurable. Sure, the outcomes are really familiar, really similar. They've got the same child. They're both talking about daily routines. And they both sort of reflect the big picture that Elise will start using two-word phrases throughout the day. But the second outcome isn't measurable. We don't know how many phrases Elise needs to use. We don't know when. There's nothing to measure across time. And there's certainly no routine to measure in. So really, the team members, everybody could have a different take on when Elise has met that outcome. So I am a big fan of making outcomes measurable, really individualizing, because I think that makes it more meaningful for everybody on the team, including the family. The goal is for Elise's family to know when something is measurable. And if you as a service provider aren't ever able to go in the afternoon when the cousin gets home from school to play in the backyard, that's just the reality of early intervention work. But you can work with Elise and her family to help her parent practice using strategies to build her vocabulary, her use of two-word phrases, her use of ability to request what she needs and label things in lots of different routines. But her family can measure when she's met this outcome by listening while she's playing with her cousin in the backyard. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. I'd love for you to think a minute on which outcome seems more familiar to you, which one looks like those you write on your plans, and just think about that a little bit. If you have service providers who've asked you this question, send them the link to the video, forward them a link to the blog, and maybe it'll help everybody get on the same page about why writing specific outcomes is such a great idea. All right, thanks, and have a great Tuesday.